All right, I have successfully fixed the problem. So I've been commentating this whole time leading up to this, and none of it was getting through to the live feed because the mic system we use apparently just needed a reboot. So I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and started working again. So welcome to the Junior Curling Classic Novice Draw 1. Hasso v. Goodman here on Sheet B in the well, freezing today, but still lovely Midland, Michigan. We have a total of 18 teams here for the Classic, which is basically a record for the GLCA. It's a great time for the juniors in the GLCA, and just overall, teams playing Hasso and Goodman. My comments on Goodman are, I mean, Goodman, he's a great guy. I really like him as a player. You know, he's the kind of player who, he's really young. He's maybe 9 or 10. But he's the kind of player who, you know, in 10 years when he's on the Olympics, we're all going to be like, hey, I beat that guy. But when he was 9, you know, like he's an amazing curler. He's a great skip. And I'm really actually looking forward to seeing how his career goes, just watching it from an external perspective. So Team Hasso is made up of entirely Midland folk, all good friends of mine. And then we got one member of Midland, Garrett, on Team Goodman. The other 3, I believe, are from Detroit. Detroit or Bowling Green, I'm not entirely sure. So glad we got the commentating figured out now that, yeah, I was just like, man, there's no, I don't know why I can hear the audio just fine, but there's no audio bars showing up. So, yeah, I'm glad we got it figured out. So, thanks for being here and watching. Pardon the bit of fuzz on the far end camera on B. It's got some water on it from when they were pebbling that I'll have to go clean off and refocus from. So, because I tried to clean it off the last time it happened, and I cleaned it off. There we go. Okay, well, apparently my audio just cut out again. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. Hopefully this doesn't keep happening, or else this is going to be a really sucky stream for all of y'all to watch. And now I've forgotten what I was going to say. This is great. It looks like Goodman just got a solid takeout. I'm going to try and get both rocks out, but the yellow is going to stick around. I'll be honest, I would have loved to have been here just to be doing all of the commentating for this great event here in Midland, but I'm actually playing. So if we're not on B, my team isn't O'Brien, but if you just so happen to see the guy with the green sweatshirt and the bright red pants and the red and white hat, that's me. You'll see me out on the ice. I'm vice of Team O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien is our skip. So Patrick O'Brien is Bowling Green. I'm not entirely sure if you can hear me when that cuts out or not, but it's going to be really annoying if it just keeps cutting out like this. I'm not entirely sure why it is either. Hopefully it's not a faulty USB cable going on up in the ceiling where all the cables run. It's like this rock from Goodman is going to be a solid takeout, hit, and a little bit of a roll right in, and they'll sweep it out to sit for 2. I should mention, though, if you're interested, there is a live stream going on from a phone going on over on sheet C. If you're interested in watching that sheet, I'm not entirely sure who's playing over there. They're both teams from outside of Midland that I would not know. And frankly, I don't think I've actually seen any of the guys on either of the teams. So they might be from Canada. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. It's quite the fast rock by Brody. Oh, wow, just snaked by there. Very close rock there. Excuse me. Wow. It's an interesting shot there by the man in the green. Looks like they're trying to raise it in there. That's pretty good. Pretty unconventional way to get another rock in the rings, but it makes sense. It's well guarded, and hopefully it'll stay that way. Boy, this must suck for you guys if it's really cutting out like this. Jeez, I'll have to do some diagnosing, see what the problem is, because I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully it's not the cable up in the ceiling like I said it might have been. I'll watch this rock come right on in here. I suppose you guys probably saw earlier when I was doing all this transitioning and whatever, and we're just like, man, I wonder what's going on, why they're doing this. Now you know why. It's because they're supposed to have been commentating, but it's just not working apparently. Skip Hasso. Gonna throw a takeout on this rock. Goodman sitting 3 here. They're probably hoping for a roll in. We'll see how this goes for them. Solid rock by them. Not going to get quite the roll that they want. It'll sit in the 4-foot, but it'll still give them another shot. Give Goodman here another shot at 3. Looks like this rock's actually quite a bit wide for what Goodman probably wanted here. It's going to go whiff right on by, and that'll give Hasso a chance here for possibly 2, I believe. We'll see if they're able to pull it off. We'll see how this goes. I think Penny. This is very weird. I'm currently texting the guy who runs all of this to try and remedy the issue. Looks like that rock by Hasso came down. Wasn't quite as deep as they wanted it, but it looks like they might try and go for at least a takeout on it, possibly a double if they can get over. Wow, nice rock by Goodman to finish off the end. Rolls right onto the pin. Couldn't have gotten any better than that. Starting things off with the standard old draw from Goodman. Looks like his lead came out a little bit narrow on that rock. Good news, I think I've fixed the audio cutting out issue. I asked the guy, and he was like, just reseat the USB in the computer, and it should work. And what do you know? Hasn't cut out so far. Hopefully it stays that way. So to catch back up a little bit, currently tied 1-1, Hasso v. Goodman at the Junior Curling Classic here in Midland, Michigan. Looks like this rock might just have a little bit too much for them to give it anything. It's going to be 4 foot at best. It's going to sit on the tee line right in the center, give Goodman something to hit here. Oh, it looks like he's actually going to try and go for this double here. Just really open things up. We'll see what second Garrett has to say about that. Garrett's the Team Goodman's only member from Midland here. Solid takeout there. Looks like they only got the back one. Penny's probably just either going to try and, looks like, yeah, they're just going to try and hit and get a little bit of a roll in. Can't hit too much off nose or else they're going to roll way out to the wings, but. Find it interesting they were sweeping for line. Might have just been Brody's instinctiveness a little bit. He's a little preemptive when it comes to sweeping on anything because he knows he's good at sweeping and is probably the best on the team at it. He's just like, you know, I feel like he has a hard time listening sometimes, but not nearly as bad as, you know, some other people who I've curled with in the past who, you know, just do whatever they think is right regardless, and then you know what, I'm just going to stop talking. So, looks like this rock's going to crash a little bit. You're going to roll out. Hasso probably just going to look to draw or cover it up again. Possibly with something on the house. One of my favorite rocks to do in this situation is actually tap that rock back into the 4 foot and just make them as straight as humanly possible. If that rock was in the 12, I would consider it a lot more like a top of the house so that it would still be biting, and I would have, like, I basically have 2 in the rings. I gave that a shot a couple of times at the TAM last weekend with my dad as my vice. Worked out pretty well. It's like they're just going to get the guard here. They're really, really struggling to get that there. It's going to be just enough to guard some of it, but I don't think all of it. I'd call that maybe 20%. This rock's got a lot of speed on it. Kablooey. Quite the peel they got there. Gets the job done. See what this rock does. Looks like a 2 or 3, just from the looks of it. I think they're just hoping to put up another guard and hope they don't peel it this time. And I think they definitely got that done a lot better this time. Actually, might overcurl a little bit. Forces them down the other side, which nobody's been down so far. We'll see what our very green friend thinks of this. He gives it quite a push there at the end. Looks like they're going for the back one here. Oh, barely sneaked by. That was very, very close. No daylight between those rocks. Just going to force their third Brody to throw just a nose takeout on that. Too late for that call. Penny's a good skip, but if there's one thing I've noticed, it's that there are times when she doesn't see an plan B until it's already too late to take it. You know, I would have seen that rock was going to overcurl by, you know, pretty shortly after I would have started sweeping if I were in Lucas's shoes there, you know, and just gotten off it on my own accord. Had that happen a couple of times during our game, actually. I got off a rock on my own accord, and the plan B ended up working out because I saw it before our skip did. I'm still not a skip because I do sometimes struggle with keeping myself together a little bit when I make mistakes. I never get mad. I never, like, crash out over, you know, somebody else's mistake. The only mistakes I'm ever mad at are those that I made, and that, like, it was something very, very simple that I could have changed, and I just didn't, and it just didn't work out. So when I can figure that out, I think I'll definitely be a solid enough skip to skip a team. So I'm actually hoping to do mixed doubles next year. It should be interesting and fun. I don't think it's new enough in the sport that Midland's never actually sent anybody there yet to make snubbles for even playdowns. Looks like Hasso's going to go for the draw here. Which is odd. I could definitely, you'd have to throw normal at it, normal down, control up, somewhere in there, but I think you could definitely get that double. You hit the yellow just off nose, and looks like the rock's down. We're going to try and carry it. Maybe not. We'll take a look as it comes in here. Looks like it's got a lot. That actually looks really nice. That is a good rock. It's gonna cover the pin actually. Looks pretty close to fully guarded. It's a pretty darn good rock. Looks like Goodman's taking a look at what his options are, if he can actually hit that, or what he has to throw at it to hit that. Whoa. I'd expect them to throw hack, maybe board at the most at this rock. 11-5, 12-5, somewhere in that range. That looks a lot more than a 12, honestly. Just from the speed they're walking at. For line, it needs for line.
They're going to crash. They're still going to stick 2 of their 3. Their shooter is going to roll out.
Wasn't quite enough. Looks like they're either going to try and come down or looks like they're just going to go for this draw right on into the 4-foot. Yeah, 4-foot. Try and come right on down top. Force them to either a double to score or maybe even going for a guard. I think they might be going for a guard. Yeah, definitely a guard here. It's going to be a good guard regardless, but no pun intended there. It's going to be a good guard. I don't think it's going to quite beat it. No, it's not. But it's still going to fully guard their shot rock just for them to score 1 there at the end. I've been given a note card that says to give a shout out to Garrett's aunt Serena, I believe that's how it's spelled. So here's to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying the stream today. Sorry about all the audio-based issues going on. But now that we got it all figured out, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the stream today. So, yeah. See how this goes. From the looks of it, it's a little heavy, just a tad. I need to turn my volume up. There we go. A little heavy, maybe. I could see 3-4 for this. 2-3, maybe. We're really slowing down here. Oh, wow, 1-2 even. It's a good guard, though, right on the center line, right where they need it. Goodman's going to go for the corners. An interesting play. Well, I do suppose he's down. He's down only 1, though, which is interesting. I find it interesting he's putting corners up, being down only 1. I would throw right on into the center, honestly. Looks like they're really trying to get it in. I think it's going to be too much. It's going to come right on through the house there. Oh, no, it's going to just sit top 12. Not quite a guard, but I think you could still get around it. It's really got to curl this rock. It's right on the broom. We'll see if it actually does anything. I don't know if it's going to be in the house. 3 at most. I suppose for those that aren't into curling, I should explain the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. So about where the top, I'll put it over here. So about where the top highest rock is, that's about a 1. That is about the deepest you can get as a 1. And then if you divide the distance from there to the house in half, that's where that line is. Ahead of that is a 2, behind that is a 3. Top of the house is a 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can all get, nobody really calls it, but you could call an 8 rock as a back 12. We mostly use 1, 2, 3 just for guards, and then 4 if it's a really deep guard, and then we change into top 8, top 12, that kind of thing to differentiate from what's in. There are some teams who will just use 1 through 8 as their entire system, but personally I'm on the side of just 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and then top 8, 4, back 8, back 12. Yeah, that rock's definitely down. I think they're going to have to go for weight on this more than anything else. You can watch it come in. Wow, they're really going to get it through that hole. Wow, that's a really nice rock. Right into the 4-foot, fully guarded on either side. Doesn't even go past the tee line. I suppose while I have a moment here, I can thank all of the amazing people who are working to put this on, all of the volunteers, all the people who brought food, and I mean, heck, all the parents who even came to watch their kids curl here. So, and I mean, if you're not here at the club watching and you're watching this stream to watch your kids curl, we thank you for that too. We make minimal money off of the live stream, and most of it we put back into new cameras and stuff, but we take what we can get. So thanks to everyone, and the mac and cheese is amazing. If anybody from the kitchen ends up watching this stream later on down the road, the mac and cheese is great. Looks like they might be going for a raise here. It's got enough to do it. I'm just not sure it's going to get all the way in. They get it all the way in. They don't quite sit shot. Wasn't just enough. Interesting setup we've had so far this end. Looks like they're going to try and draw right on down to their existing rock. It's a really wide rock. It's well past the sweep line. They may very well be up on top of the... No, that came down the wrong, the side. I did not think it was coming down that side. I don't know what I was thinking. It's interesting. So we'll see what Goodman does here. I think they might want to just try and come down right about there. Or they're going to try and... It's an interesting call. We'll see what they end up doing here. I'm intrigued. It's a little wide for their hit here, it looks like. Quite a bit wide, in fact. They might be down on their back one. Trying to get a roll in. It's very, very good plan B by them. Get something in there. They can hit that off the edge and knock the red one right out of there. So We'll see what Hasso does with this. They could definitely get a hit there, but, you know, it depends on whether or not, A, they think Brody can do it, or, you know, B, if they, you know, there's a lot that can go wrong. They can roll their own rock out, and then Goodman would be sitting 2, maybe even 3 if they hit it wrong. It's a risky shot if they hit. I honestly like the guard that I think she's going to go for that guard there. I definitely like that better. Oh, a little early. Whoops. There we go. Now I can do this. Looks like they're going to get a raise. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, can't be on that there. Still going to be open, but I'm not sure you can get that hit anymore. We can take a look from the camera here. Really wide rock here by our green friend, but it's really interesting looking. He came out really wide and then dragged it way over. I think it actually is going to work out for them. Oh, not quite. Hasso's going to get another one in the rings. Not great for Team Goodman there. Hasso now sitting 2 against 3 with a very, very well guarded 2, I might add. In this situation, there's really only a few options you have. I see Hasso possibly has a raise, or Goodman possibly has a raise on their rock in the 12-foot there in the top 12. We'll see what they end up doing. Penny's definitely taking her time on this rock. I don't blame her. It's very tough. Guard the raise. Yep, there you go. Guard it. Guard that raise. That's right. Yeah. Yep, there you go. There you go. Could hear her voice shouting that from the other end. It makes sense in all aspects. It prevents them from being able to get anything in the rings. And, you know, worst case scenario, he's heavy and they get a little bit of a tap farther in, but even then they're still guarded. So, you know. Or they get a roll off of one of those other high ones, which at the moment looks like they might be doing. Wow. It's going to get the job done. It's going to get the job done, but not in the intended way, I think. Goodman still has that raise for sure and doesn't have that much of a hit on anything at this point. That yellow's fully exposed, or like 90% exposed. I think he could definitely get to it. But it really just depends on whether or not he wants to. Looks like he is, though, for sure. Oh, just a tick. Not quite enough. Opens things up for Goodman as Skip to come on in and do something good with this.
The yellow's still guarded. Why is Lucas is saying to hog it? I'm not entirely sure why. Looks like they're going to get some advice from their coach. I don't blame them. This is a unique scenario. It's ice guard just off center line, I think, would be optimal. Looks like they're definitely struggling a little bit to figure out what they're going to do here. They're sitting 2. I wouldn't get greedy here. I would come up and put something. I don't know what they're doing. Why are they putting? Oh, they're guarding the hit. Okay. If we look at this from this perspective, Goodman could definitely have that hit right there on both of those and double it. So, and if you're throwing a guard, you know, if she ends up being light, you know, you sit up in front of there and you're still guarding it. You know, it doesn't have to be in the house for what it's worth. It just kind of has to be just off center line on the right side there. For weight only, I think, here. Yeah, weight and line. They really got to get there. It's hogged. Not good luck for Hasso. Wow, just barely over the hog. I think he gets the job done, though. They're going to have to not. I don't think they can double that. I don't think they can double that. Because the weight that you'd have to throw to get the double, you can't throw because of where that super high rock is. You can't get around it, I don't think. It seems Goodman might think so. Or might be looking at trying to hit the one in the very top of the rings back into them, even just to cut them down 1. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he might be trying to come. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. He's smart, though. I trust him on whatever he's doing. He'll get the job done. It's quite the rock. Really going to have to throw. Oh, just a tick. Hasso's not even going to want to sweep that. It's going to sit right on the tee. It's not going to beat the other yellow one, but Hasso's still sitting 2. They might want to still go for that same guard. That rock Goodman threw was definitely one of the more interesting ones I've seen. A little bit unconventional in terms of what I would have taken for that rock, because I would have come in out, inside out, down at that, around that high guard on the inside, and then, you know, if it curled too much, I mean, all it needed to do was get just a little inside the face of the rock, the top rock on the forefoot, and it was going to be there to get that double. So I think he could have done it in the in-out, but then again, I don't know how good he is at those. In-out shots or inside-out shots are my favorite in the whole game. I love them. Team guard chow multiple times in a couple of ends was, you know, shouted over at my sheet saying, "Thank you, Jasper," because they were thanking me for blessing them with the power of the inside-out takeout. Because I'm the only person at the club who seems, or at least in the junior program, who seems to really enjoy those kind of rocks. So
they jokingly pray to me to make sure that their rocks get where they're going. I don't know. I think that rock might have overcurled just a little bit. You can take a look here. I think it's going to be just all right for them, though. We'll see how it goes. Goodman just threw a really big takeout here. So, with any luck, this one should be just as good. A little bit of an unconventional way to do it. And I don't think they sat where they wanted to, but looks like it's going to be 2 red going into the fifth end. They just played the 4th. So yeah, going into the 5th end. Red is up 4-1 against Team Goodman. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. For anyone watching, I have no idea how many people are watching, but sorry for all the minor technical difficulties in the beginning there, but hope you're enjoying it so far, wherever you're watching from, and whoever you're watching, you know. It's a little bit more fun when it's teams. A little bit more fun when there's teams from out of town playing on this sheet, because you usually get more people watching, but I mean, I guess 2 teams. So, yes, 2 out of town teams is always a little bit more fun because almost everyone watching is from out of town. So I'm sure there are people who are watching on behalf of our Midland, our home team here, Hasso. But yeah, looks like this rock's gonna hog. Not a great start for Hasso after that 2-pointer in the last end. Goodman's going to have open ice here to throw his rock. This might get into a hit game here. We'll see. We had an end set up like this when I was playing in the competitive at 8 this morning. It's 3rd end, I believe. And we got into a situation pretty similar to this. This rock's going to overcurl a little bit. Looks like it might have lost its handle there at the end. Hopefully this rock doesn't hog. It's got plenty. It might be through. I don't know why they're sweeping out for line. That is one thing that Brody doesn't have going for him as the optimal sweeper on the team is he doesn't know weights. So that is grossly overswept by him. And, you know, for all he knew, he was just barely getting into 3. I think it was only overswept by maybe 3 feet at most, but it's overswept regardless. Looks like Goodman's going to go for the hit here. Try and get into a hit game a little bit. He can definitely get there. That's odd he's giving that handle, though. Whoa. They're trying to go out and they're, wow. Huh. That's not something, that is very, very unconventional. That is not something you see every day where they try to go around that side of the guard. I think they're going to get the tick and try and roll. Pretty unconventional rock there, but I don't blame them. In-out takeouts are not the easiest in the world. Hasso looks to have both her rocks guarded, or her only rock guarded. I'd go for one right on the forefoot there, yeah. Too late. It's already on it. Looks like they might just try and get a tick here. Oh, wow, that's really curling. They might just get a straight raise. Oh, no, it's going to come over the face. Wow. Track looks interesting. Looks like they went for some kind of odd raise on this, although I suppose it was likely unintentional. It's really, it's guarding the 12 foot a little bit. Looks like Hasso at this point in the game might just try and keep piling stuff up and take their one. Let's say you either raise or you come in, split the house, and then just the rest of the game you're just trying to guard everything up, if you even want to this end. I'd go for that, yeah. Split it up a little bit. Likowski looks a little wide here. They might go for that 8-foot sit. Looks like it's going to be just a little too much. Goodman's going to do what he can to get it out of play, but it's still going to sit. Sorry, I left it on that camera for a minute. Our other two cameras were cutting out a little bit, so I was saving you from the horrible lag. Not entirely sure what they're going for here. Going for a raise, it looks like. I think they're going to get it, though. Oh, not quite biting. It's quite the attempt by Goodman's team, though, for sure. Definitely on this one for weight. Not quite going to be what they want, but I think at this point in the game, you just start, driving stuff up in the top of the house and making it a complete mess to get anywhere inside to sit for Goodman. That's what I'd be doing. Next rock, I'd put a guard up on top 12 way out in the wings so that you can't draw in and just force them to throw miracle shot raises to get in the house. Must be hard for Goodman sometimes because I know he's an amazing curler and he has such a great mind in terms of skipping, but sometimes because of his age and the age group he's playing in, his teammates, might not be as good as his, skip brain is just like, oh yeah, I can see this, 3-rock raise here, but can my players do it is the question. Can I even do it? Just because I see it doesn't mean that it's possible to be done. You know what I mean? It's like you can see how to throw Olympic level rocks any day of the week. But you go actually try and throw those and you can't, because you don't throw 250 rocks a week as the Olympic players do, or however many rocks they throw every week. And I mean, as the more experienced and the older Goodman gets, he's going to end up like that, where it might be a struggle for him to find a team to curl with, because there's nobody else who's good, who's the same level as him. And so, he's the best on the team. It's going to be interesting to watch him, kind of grow up through curling and see where he goes with it. He's a good player. He has an incredible eye for a skip, especially at his age. I would have not seen that rock he just tried to throw, that like 3-rock raise. I would have never seen that. That's not something I would have considered even. I might have seen it, but I would have never, considered it as an option. So, I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting. Hopefully he stays with curling. He's a good kid. Oh, just a tick. Not quite going to get it. Going to roll out. Opens things up quite a bit, though. We'll see what Hasso decides to do. I'll be putting one right where Brody had his broom there a minute ago. Top house, beating the other yellow one, so they sit 4 now. Top 8, and make it hard for them to double. It's like they're going edge 12, middle 12 for this. Looks like they're going for weight almost right out of the gate. They're just barely going to get it over. It's going to function perfectly as the guard they wanted. It's not quite in the house to sit their 4 that they probably wanted here. 3 is still plenty enough for them right now. They're already up 4-1, but, who's to say that Goodman's not going to get an 8-ender or something crazy, I've always wondered, for mixed doubles, something that I've, thought about quite a bit is when you get 6, because you only throw 6 rocks, when you get a 6-ender, is that still, like, the same as getting an 8-ender? Is that, like, the same level of rarity? Because I've gotten 2 in just my one season of playing it non-competitively. I haven't gotten any events for it or anything. In just my one season of playing it, I've gotten 2 6-enders. Maybe it's a fluke, but, I don't know. Is it as rare? I really don't know. I'm not sure what they're going for here. Looks like it's some kind of hit. Really wide, though. They need to be giving ice, 6 foot inside of there to be, hitting that. Super wide. Must feel bad for Goodman sometimes, missing a rock like that.
For anyone who misses a rock like that, it's a hard miss. Yeah, right there. Anywhere on that line, I think, is perfectly fine for them. They're still guarded up. You know, they've got a really wonky-looking, double raise here. If Goodman even wants to get in the house. So long as they put something up in the top there, over on that line, over on the edge, they're not going to have any issues, Up there, I guess, from the camera view, it's like a foot above where those 3 yellows sit, out there on the wings. If they can get it in the house, this is, the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, in the house is fine, above the house is fine, same rock as, you last through is fine, that kind of stuff. It looks like this rock might get the job done. They're hard on him for line. They couldn't have given him too much more ice. Doesn't look like it's going to get where they want it to. I think a little bit more weight definitely would have gotten the job done. But it's still okay. This is Goodman is forced now for a draw to 1. Draw 4-1, which, for Penny and her team, that's, perfectly fine. Might be trying to do something crazy here. I'm not sure. I'd be curious to know if they... Oh, I bet they don't think that they can beat the rock sitting on the 4-foot there. I don't think they can beat that. Either that or they don't think they can beat it. And so they're not going to try and go for that draw that Team Hasso tried to guard. See how this goes for them. This will be interesting. Here's for hoping. I mean, this is a very, very long takeout or raise. It's already narrow. I switched a little early. It's way down for what they wanted. I don't even think Hasso's going to try and get that in the rings there. I don't think it had enough, but Hasso will sit 3 going into end number 5, I think. No, end number 6. That was end number, excuse me, end number 5. Looks like they're actually, well, that was just a fist bump. Never mind. Fist bump with the coach. Never mind. I was just like, oh, they're shaking, and no, they're not. Now, Goodman definitely still has a chance here. Oh boy, looks like the camera's frozen. That's fun. Oh, there it goes. We're good. I was like, why are they all just standing around and not moving? And then I was like, oh, the camera's frozen. And number 6, final end here. It's 11:25. I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now. Did they shake and I missed it, or... Because Lucas is holding the... they might have. I honestly do not know.
Oh, I think I was looking at the wrong end. I was just like, why is Lucas holding the broom? And then I was like, oh. So never mind. Disregard my previous statement. Well, it looks like they're trying to have some form of fun, whatever that may be. Well, that's usually how the game works, Lucas. Everything's a hit or a draw. I see what they did, though. They just threw it through. You know, this rock looks like it might be hogs. They might be throwing another rock through. Who knows? Yeah, they're not getting that over. Looks like they want something covering the pin. Yeah, they got to go for weight. 1-2 maybe. 1-2. For Hasso's lead, it seems to be either a 1-2 guard or through the house. I don't think I've seen her throw anything but those. Not that that's a bad thing for a lead. That's really all you need to do, because you're either throwing a hit or you're throwing, that one guard. Well, I guess in this case. Usually it's a, guard and a draw, but... Looks like this rock's done the same thing as the last one. Massively overcurled and is a little underthrown. Hogger. It's rock number 2 for Goodman to hog, which bodes well for Hasso. They're going to just draw right on in. Line is, I'm not entirely sure I agree with you, Penny. I don't think the line is good. Lucas just threw a rock through the house. Wow. No, I think it's fine. Back 8, maybe. Saving my eyes a little bit by not watching the screens and actually just watching. By looking around the corner, you can probably see me. Maybe, I don't know. From the far camera on D. So, I don't know, I might be hiding behind, well, I'm definitely behind Goodman now. Looks like Team Yellow, whoever's playing as yellow on sheet A knows how to count, because they have gotten 1 point in the first end, another 1 point in the second end, another 1 point in the third end, and another 1 point in the fourth end. So they're just counting up chronologically, as one does. Good rock by Goodman.
Looks like a hit on this rock. Perfectly respectable. Definitely got that hit. Straight nose. Well, Reds got their one in the house, and I'm not sure where Goodman went. Oh, they shook. Ah, they got mathematically eliminated. I gotcha. Well, that's the end of that. Looks like Hasso's come out on top of Goodman. They're going to throw their 4 warm warm draws here. An interesting point system they're doing. It's 1 point for anything in play, 2 for top 12, 3 for 8, 4 for about a 4-foot, and then 5 for touching button, and then covering pin is 6. So, despite losing our last game, we did win in the draws in terms of that. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone. It was a very eventful game, a lot of interesting shots, and a lot of unconventional techniques by both teams to get the scoring that happened. So, I'll be back for the next